So you tend
All
to
right.
hang on to the younger one a bit.
I have no experience because I'm the eldest.
Okay.
I can't relate to that. But you, in my case, you don't have anything to refer to
Mhm. I'm the eldest.
apart from your parents. So you understand.
Yes, yes. So there was a point where I was like offering suggestions or maybe direction initially, like, and I was like, don't, please don't. I know what I'm doing. I read, I listen, I research. So no need to guide me. Okay. And initially it was like uncomfortable. And I started to think how to find a way to reach out to him. Because if every time I try to give him direction, he shuts down. That's not a good place to be. So I started to reinforce he's very mature for his age. So reinforce his knowledge that he knows what he's doing. And there the barriers started to come down slowly. Okay, so she's understanding that I know what I'm doing. Yes. And add a bit of reflection or a bit of suggestion, which I know he wouldn't, because I mean, I keep telling them, listen, I have learned something in 50 years. If you're 17 or 20,
For sure.
there's 30 years difference.
Yeah.
I might have learned something on the way, so I'm trying to share that with you.
Yeah.
So seeing starting to work now with the younger one, but he needs to be acknowledged for what he is, for what he knows, for what. So that bit I do.
Is it generational? Because we hear this a lot. Generation Z, and this is a trend, perhaps.
I remember myself being like in my older teens and thinking, what do they think? That I know nothing? They have no idea how much I know. I had no idea how much they knew. Let's leave that. But at the time, we didn't speak up. You would just think and not have an argument. Today, you have the argument because they will tell you what they think. And we had to learn how to manage that, because initially it was like, I never spoke like that to my parents. How
For
dare
sure.
you? Why not? Like, I'm a person. And then you can start to see the reflection of the information that they have, what they learn at school, children's rights. So it's a very fine line to navigate.
You have to have the humility to accept that as well, because we live in an age where information is at our fingertips, and if you want to know something, you will get to know it at a much faster rate. So knowledge can be gained or not earned, gained very quickly.
Mhm.
But in order for us, everyone, to internalize the knowledge, it will take a little bit of time and a little bit of experience, and perhaps the youths, that is what they're underestimating, the internalization and then the crystallization of knowledge that comes coupled with the experience, because you can know how to do something, but knowing and doing it is a complete different story.
And one other thing which I am concerned with is the source.
Yeah.
Today, social media puts everything at your fingertips. It doesn't mean that whatever you're reading is necessarily correct
Or true.
or true or reliable or good enough for you to
Yeah.
plan your life.
It's very hard to differentiate, even if you know what you're doing, even if you're an adult.
Let alone.
So now with the introduction and the accessibility of AI, it is becoming increasingly difficult to decipher between both. So if you're an expert in the field, so let's say if you're an expert in your background, social work, sometimes you might encounter something which might raise certain doubts. Is this true? Can this be true? Perhaps you might start imagine someone without that knowledge, the knowledge that you have or the experience that you have. How would they interpret that same information? So there is a lot of it's not even a maze. It's a very
And that is how
dangerous.
parenting has changed.
Hmm.
So today, I think we need to give them this skill to manage the information, to access information in the right places. So rather than telling them what they should know, guiding them where to look for information. In fact, sometimes I tell them, like, this question, for example, enough, I don't know, think of this question. Go and look it up. I'm not going to tell you what I think or what the truth is. Go and look it up
Mhm.
and see what you learn. And then sometimes, very rarely, they come and say, eventually, you know what? You are right.
Well, I can't relate to that, but I do have people, quite a lot of people nowadays, thank God or the universe for that I coach. And this happens to me in coaching as well, because people come to me in coaching to seek some sort of direction. And now it can be at the place of work, usually, because this is my line of work. And I'll go a little bit of a step deeper than that. Obviously, your kids are younger. Usually, I coach people who are a little bit older than that. Sorry. And I would ask, will this decision align with your sense of self or with your purpose or with your direction or in the direction that you're heading in life? And some people don't have an answer to that, because not most people, but some people do not know what their next step is, do not know where they're heading. So there comes the conversation then revolves around my belief system, what do I deem important, what is valuable to me, and if this decision will align me to that sense of self and sense of purpose. Because if that is not aligned, it doesn't I can't make that next step.